Entertainment shock. Caitriona Balfe straight up criticizes Sam Heughan for being bad at love. Caitriona Balfe stared out the living room window, where the afternoon sunlight filtered through the thin curtains. Her apartment on a small street in Edinburgh was quiet now, except for the steady ticking of the atomic clock. She was waiting for Sam to return from the last filming of the day. They had been together for almost 3 years. To outsiders, it was a sweet love, and they often shared warm moments quietly behind the scenes. But in Caitriona's heart, recently, little cracks had begun to appear. Small words, absent-minded gestures, invisible distances. She remembered the evening a few months ago when Sam asked her out to a small, old-fashioned cafe. He hesitated for a moment and then said, "Caitriona, I'm busy. I might not be able to come back soon." She smiled faintly. Then, "Just go to work. I can't wait." She turned away, her heart bleeding. Because even the words, "I can't wait," were a way of refusing to hide the hurt, but she still loved Sam, still held in her heart a belief, however small, that he would truly be hers. That was why she chose to continue in silence, chose to believe, maybe it was just a difficult period at work, and when he was free, he would come back to her. But today, the feeling of doubt had become heavier. She looked at her phone. No calls. No messages. Just an empty waiting screen. When the door opened, Sam walked in. He looked tired. His filming clothes still had traces of dust. But his eyes still sparkled with warmth. "Caitriona, are you back?" he said, putting down his backpack. She moved behind the sofa, her eyes serious. "Yes, I'm back," she replied, her voice flowing like a shallow stream. Sam crept closer, wanting to hug her, but she pulled back, standing up. The distance between them suddenly became wider than the room. "What's wrong?" he asked, worried. "What's wrong?" she replied, walking past him. "Why do you always disappear when I need you the most?" Sam was stunned. I'm just busy, Kazzy." "Busy?" she insisted. "Do you know how busy you are that you can't even tell her, I miss you?" Sam bit his lip. He had no answer, and in that moment, she looked straight at him, her blue eyes filled with anger. "You chose the wrong person, Sam. You're the loser in my life." The whole apartment shook with silence. Sam froze, but then he stammered. "Caitriona, don't say that. I'm not." She turned away, her arms tightening. "It's nothing. I'm tired, Sam." And she left the living room, leaving Sam standing there with a bewildered look in her eyes. The scar in her heart. After that night, Caitriona closed her heart, suppressing her emotions in her personal diary. In each line, she cried and screamed silently. Why did I choose the wrong person? The question kept swirling and wouldn't let go. She remembered the first days they met, the curious eyes, the long conversations between dusk and dawn, the sincere smiles. Everything was like a miracle. She believed that they were two perfect pieces, that Sam would be her strong shoulder when the storm came. But as the pressures of work increased, as the filming schedule got longer, as the fans, as the media, everything seemed to push the distance between the two of them further apart. Sam sometimes didn't reply to messages, sometimes cancelled at the last minute. And she, day by day, got tired of explaining, forgiving, and trying to understand. Caitriona wrote in her diary, "I tried. I gave you so much. I waited more times than you called. I was much stronger than when I first started. But one day, I understood, strength has its limits. I can't let go, but I can't pull you back if you don't want me to." And then she decided, she needed distance. She would leave Sam, at least to avoid further hurt. She didn't hate him, she was just disappointed. The confrontation. One foggy morning in Edinburgh, Caitriona received a message from Sam's manager. Sam wanted to see her, to talk in person. She was in turmoil. She wanted to refuse, but also longed for an explanation. Finally she agreed, and they met at a small cafe on the banks of the Forth. They sat facing each other, their eyes tense with so much left unsaid. Sam began. Caitriona, I'm sorry, I know I hurt you. But, you have to give me a chance. She shook her head. A chance? How many chances have I had? Every time you promised, I trusted you. Every time you broke your promise, I suffered. I suffered for so long, Sam. Sam choked. You. Don't say that. I'm not trying to upset you. She looked at him. Do you know what the word, loser, means? Someone who doesn't win the other person's heart, someone who can't keep their promises. You're the loser, Sam, in our relationship. You lost. Sam was startled. His voice dropped. You shouldn't have said that, she laughed dryly. Why not? I was too restrained. The other day, when I said, I chose the wrong person, it wasn't a hasty remark. It was the truth. I chose someone who wasn't worthy, someone who didn't keep his word. Sam trembled. Caitriona, too already explained. She stood up. I have heard many explanations. There is no room for them. I need actions, not words. And she walked out of the cafe, leaving Sam sitting still, his eyes quietly experiencing.